Freshman Democratic besties Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez and Ilhan Omar have come under fire for their refusal to denounce Maduro. AOC only called Venezuela a complex issue when asked about the dictator. So does America's far left have a problem when they can't condemn a tyrant who starves his own people? But they claim our country is the one in crisis. The panel is back. Look at this party panel. Kat, Beverly, and Jonas. Jonas, I will start with you. It's very funny because they want to make it seem like this country is a horrible place, even when some things are going well, and they can't acknowledge that. What do you make of all of this?
It's hard to generate outrage with 4% unemployment.
It is.
You know what the most troubling thing is to me is that they did everything they hated Republicans for. And they rightfully, but the Republicans were out of line chasing Whitewater all the way down to Clinton's affairs that he lied about, that he needed to be impeached. That was out of line. And all this Obama stuff was a little over. The cash for clunkers is somehow going to turn us into the Soviet Union and all. It was all like, you lie. It was way blown out of proportion. He was destroying America. They took all that. They're doing that to Trump just like they did to Clinton. They are taking, everything that's going on is somehow the destruction of the free world, that it's not just merely some, we differ on policies and we're going to run it this way. It's like, it's not just that. If you don't go with us, it's all going to be in ruin and a smoking thing. That's what the Republicans were saying about Obama. No, it wasn't true. And that's what the Democrats are now so quick to copy.
But Republicans were saying that about Obama, and unemployment was higher. You had two stimuli.
Remember when
and
Obama
you had
went
much
to Cuba?
lower
Obama went to Cuba,
growth.
and it was somehow going to.
He thought he was Jay-Z.
And then when Trump goes to, it's the same kind of the way we treat both those countries is antiquated, and both leaders are trying to modernize it, and they might have executed poorly, but they're both right.
Okay.
And the other party's like, this is a sign that we're weak, and everyone's going to think they're both saying the same things about that. It's crazy.
I know, but you know what's crazy is Hillary Clinton really wants to undo the election, and all of these people are going along with her because they're still so outraged that the sad thing is they will somehow cheer if the economy does in fact go south.
I really think the real crisis is that she's still using a Southern accent. That's when I hear this. Can that just go away? It doesn't work for her.
In the big chair.
In the big chair, yes, exactly. But when it comes to the crisis, either what she's saying or else you have Hickenlooper, who you mentioned, he called it a crisis in division, of division. So what they're banking on...
He also calls himself an extreme moderate.
Yeah.
I don't know what that is.
Not a thing.
Not a thing.
It's not a thing.
So you have to ask yourself, is it really about the economy stupid? At the end of the day, when people are happier with unemployment, the jobs they have, the money that they're making, wages are going up, do they really care about President Trump and his rhetoric and how Democrats in the media often respond? And I'm not sure that's going to be a winning message for them.
No, and they can't. The problem is defining basic terms, which I think is very important. And you learn this in philosophy. It's okay to use the same terms over and over again, but you have to assign the same meaning each time you use it. But, they call themselves democratic socialists, but every time you point to the ills of socialism, they go, oh, well, no, we're not talking about socialism. Or they say, that's not socialism, but they can't define it. They also can't define a crisis. What is a crisis? What are they talking about?
Well, I really think that in the case of Hillary Clinton, her calling it a crisis is probably more of a coping mechanism than anything else. She wants to look at the country and say, see, they're so lost without me. It's like if Trump broke her heart by winning. And if someone breaks your heart, you can't ever admit they're doing well. Like your ex-boyfriend can leave you for like a super hot, super successful woman. And you'll just say, oh, he's not happy with that.
She's so
floozy.
ugly. Have you ever seen her without makeup?
Yeah, absolutely. So you can't admit to
boobs
yourself.
That fake since the volleyball tournament I went to.
And that helps people. And if that's helping her, then, I don't want her to be miserable.
Yeah.
I would look, if that's making her happy, then that's great. She can sip her Chardonnay and say everything is miserable without me.
Adjust her back brace.
Adjust whatever makes her happy.
All right, we have breaking news now. Speaking of which, we don't give a lot of weather forecasts on the show, but hell may have officially frozen over because Hillary Clinton says she's done running for president. No! The People's Pantsuit just told News 12 New Jersey she's not running, but will continue, quote, working, speaking, and standing up for what I believe. Meaning being president. It's a fancy way of saying she'll follow the appearance fees wherever they take her until she finds an opening to jump back in the mix. If she really is out of the race, and she's not, it'll take a village to replace her on the ballot. Lucky for Democrats, they've already got 12 declared candidates, and 426 are waiting in the wings. So who will lead the Democrat Party in 2020 if they're no longer with her? I don't believe her for a second, Jonas.
there's going to be two people that are going to rise up. There's going to be whoever's the most moderate, maybe the one who throws phones like the guy from Gladiator, or it's going to be the one AOC endorses. Those are going to be your two final people. Someone's going to play the middle. Maybe it'll be some billionaire steps in like Bloomberg, and someone's going to play the Green New Deal.
Yes.
And that's it.
But you're absolutely right, because the moderate is the only way to differentiate yourself in this field. Because every time someone new declares, like, yeah, I knew it, I'm bored already. Like Cory Booker, no, he's not raising any money. Tulsi Gabbard, she's done.
Yeah, they're doing this so that they can maybe...
She would love to pray the gay back into the race. Not a chance in HE double hockey stick.
Here's what I want to know. When the Clintons say that they're going to be out there on the campaign trail, do Democrats really want them to show up at their events? Is that a draw for Democrat voters?
That's a problem. A lot of times it's no.
No.
Especially in purple states.
Exactly. And you're going to have the accent by Hillary Clinton. Bill Clinton is going to be over there kind of sleeping in the background. They don't energize the base. And I think many people, the reason why they didn't vote for her, they were never excited about her to begin with in 2016.
And she hates AOC.
Oh, for sure.
She absolutely hates AOC. But she's, she painted herself into a corner, because last time when she was running against Bernie, she's like, I'm so progressive, you guys. Like, I invented progressivism.
Yeah,
in the 1860s.
She really tried that. She really tried to reinvent herself several times throughout her campaign, and it was really tough because you could tell none of them were the real her.
It's like Katy Perry's hair.
Yes. It's going to be tough for Bernie, though, because he doesn't stand out as much in terms of being the only super progressive in the race. He's not the only one saying, okay, Medicare for all. That's not the case anymore. So it's going to be a lot harder for him than it was last time around, especially because he's not necessarily seen as the underdog that he was seen in the last time.
Yes.
He's going to face more scrutiny.
Her inauthenticity made his authenticity. The contrast was so stark that people were naturally
Plus, he
drawn
has
to him.
great hair.
Madonna never used pollsters. She just reinvented herself. That's
Absolutely
the
right.
problem.
Yes, and if you go through the Madonna
authentic.
phases, her goth phase, her hippie phase,
Each one
and Ray
more
of Light.
believable than the next.
Absolutely, Jonas. Well said. So, do you think she gets in at some point?
Hillary? No, I don't think so. I think that she probably daydreams about it all day.
I want to throw my cup at the window.
I really would love her to. I mean, that would be nice for me if she would get back in.
A gift. If Bernie and Hillary and Donald Trump were all running once again, it would be the greatest political sequel of all time.
I think it's what we need.
A family reunion.
I mean, I guess I'm just going to have to go watch her crying supporters on election night to pick myself up after the show. Oh, well, I want to thank you all for being here. Jonas,
you.
Beverly, and Kat. Woo!